Oh my god. Who was the biggest cunt in that episode? Jackie or Tony's first cousin Stephen? Vote now. Mafs Australia, Sunday the 2nd of January, episode 5. What the fuck did I just witness? 80% of this episode I was just sitting like, what the fuck is going on? Are these people for real? But let's start off on the side of sanity. Morena, absolutely love her. She says that she was in a loveless marriage for 29 years, and she says that's what good Italian girls do. Couldn't be me. Could not be me. Not only did she stay with him for 29 years and he treated her like shit, she had 2 kids to him. But she managed to escape him, and now she's a DJ and she's a fitness instructor, and I'm loving her. There were so many aspects of this dress that I loved and so many that I hated, but at least it was interesting and she looked stunning. She's 57. She looks fucking amazing. Tony came across as such a nice guy, really down to earth. I loved his speech, but as Jackie said about Ryan's speech, it's written about somebody that they don't know. It's obviously pre-planned, but you can't help that when you've not met the person. The two of them look as if they just make such a lovely couple. 10 out of 10. Everything was going well, but it's maths. It was too good to be true. Tony's first cousin Stephen had to step in and give his opinions, like we asked. I can't remember the exact age range that he gave, but it was something like, oh, you should be paired up with a woman who's 38 to 42. He's 53. I'm 41 and I wouldn't date a 53-year-old. He says to him, you used to take me out when I was 15, and if a woman spoke to you that you weren't attracted to, you would just leave. And I thought, aye mate, that was decades ago. Let's be honest, the guy was an absolute arsehole, and I know that he was just looking out for his first cousin Tony, but the stuff that he was spewing out his mouth was just fucking pathetic. Thank God one of them had a brain. Tony was like, no, she's a really lovely woman, I think she's really good looking, I'm no oil painting anymore. You know, actually using his brain. The guy's lonely, he's looking for a companion, and as he says, attraction's not the same when you're older. Looks are going to fade, and this guy's like, oh, you need a 38-year-old? Take yourself to fuck. What is wrong with these men? And you know what, not once did he even say, aye, you might be right, maybe I could go with a 38-year-old, or aye, maybe you're right, maybe I can do better. He stood by her, good for him. Fuck you, Stephen. I think these two are such a lovely couple, I hope they make it all the way. As for these two fucking wallopers, they're perfect for each other. Delusional. See this rainbow? It's not caused by the sun, it's caused by delusion. I will say this wedding picture is stunning. Well done to the photographer. Jackie and Ryan both got bullied in school, came out of school, worked on themselves, and now they're way overconfident. And I can tell you, if they hadn't have mentioned in this show that they were bullied at school, I would have been able to tell. I met a guy when I was like 20, and he was like an attractive guy. I didn't fancy him, but he was so overconfident that it was shocking. And I says to him, were you bullied at school? And he gave me the whole story about how he was bullied and he got over it and all that. And he was like, oh, how did you know? And I was just like, oh, I can tell. Because some people go through this at school and it's like the worst thing, and then as soon as they're out of high school, it's like they feel free, and then they work on themselves and they see improvements in their body, and then people start to compliment them on how they look, and then it just like goes from one extreme to the other. And I totally see that with these two. I wouldn't even have had to have told me that they get bullied. I could just tell. Now, in a way, aye, it's a shame that they went through that when they were at school, but they've grew up to be total fucking cunts. She's a successful businesswoman, she likes to keep fit, and she's apparently a perfectionist. A perfectionist wouldn't have picked a dress that doesn't even sit right at the top, but who am I? That being said, I really love the colour of the dress. This is one of the nicer dresses, I would say. But that's only because I fucking hate people being white and basic. Anyway, I've went off track again. She's looking for a guy who's successful, somebody who's got like masculine energy, and instantly, I don't like her. See, when people are like, oh, a man has to have masculine energy and protect me. Fucking protect you for what? We don't live in caves anymore. The man's not out doing the hunting while you're at home cooking, and then he's got to come home and fucking save you for the fucking tigers and lions and bears and whatever else is fucking outside. Holy fuck, man. You think it was the prehistoric days? It's an attitude that I absolutely detest. That's why I can't be bothered with tradwives. At first, I just didn't like her. I didn't think she was that bad, but I thought she's just not my type of person. As the wedding went on, I got more embarrassed. Then we had the groom Ryan. I need to prepare myself for this. He was like, where's the warriors? Where's the knights? Fucking back in 1000 AD. Him as well, he's like, oh, I'm masculine, or like masculine energy. I'm looking for a woman with feminine energy. Now, in his defence, at least he says that he wanted a woman with a career. Unlike that other fucking idiot who wants a woman who doesn't have a career, so that she has to come to him and ask him for money, and so that he can control her entire life. At least he seems to be looking for an independent woman. At the start, when he was telling you about himself, and he was talking about being a warrior and being strong and saying, oh, I can pick you up off a cliff and I can protect you. At this point, we'd already seen the clip of him dropping her, and I thought, oh, you're hardly going to pick somebody off a cliff when you can't even fucking lean somebody back and pick them back up. You fucking idiot. And I don't use this word ever. But as I was watching that, I actually thought, that is the definition of a douchebag. So it was time for the wedding, and she was like, oh, he's not that much taller than me. He's not got blonde hair. What was her obsession with blonde hair? By the way, she's sitting there with roots. Her hair is dirty blonde. My actual natural hair is that colour. And when it's in the sun, it goes really white. And she's like obsessed with being blonde. It was given vibes. It wasn't right. Now, everybody is allowed to have a type, and I'm not saying they're not. But if you're going to have such a specific type, then go out and find your own fucking partner, instead of going asking people that you've never met. She's actually crying to the producers, and he's loving life. He's thinking, there's no way that this woman can think there's anything wrong with me. I'm so masculine and handsome. When the wedding was over and they had to walk down the aisle, she asked him for his hand. God forbid. God forbid. Cancel the wedding. Cancel the show. She had to ask him for his hand. Oh my God, he's so not masculine. He's practically a fucking woman at this point. So she's crying. Oh, I had to take the lead. This is so upsetting. When they were getting their pictures took, she's like, oh, it's so cold. Try living in Scotland. You'll be fine. Oh, you can give me your jacket if you want. Oh, you can give me your jacket. You're getting your wedding pictures took. How would this have looked if she was wearing his jacket? Aye, okay, maybe a couple of pictures like that. Get a fucking grip of yourself. So she basically begged him for his jacket. At this point, it was embarrassing. And then during the wedding, the whole thing was awkward. She asked him what dog he had, and he says, like, a cross staffy or whatever. And she's like, I don't like staffies. I like spaniels because they're hunting dogs and they never touch people. You try to say a spaniel's never bit a human ever in life. What is she snorting? I think I'll need to buy some. It must be something that's popular in Australia. He's up doing his speech and he's talking about getting bullied and all that, and she's like, oh, I was bullied too. Soulmates. So they got up to do the first dance, and he's like, I'm going to lean you back. We all know what's going to happen at this point because we've seen it in the clips about 5 times. And he drops her. To be fair to her, she laughed it off. She's like, oh, I thought it was funny. She obviously didn't, because now she's like, oh my God, how could a man drop his wife? I wanted somebody masculine. A man wouldn't drop his wife. If that had been me, I'd have been like to producers, oh my God, keep that in. That's a fucking laugh. Oh my God, he was taking a meltdown. He was actually begging production to cut it out. And do you know what? The embarrassing bit wasn't even him dropping her, because it was just like, oh, he dropped her, no big deal. He was actually like, oh, I'm thinking about her. He didn't want people to think that he couldn't lift a woman. It was fucking shameful. I love the fact that they didn't only put him dropping her in, but the fact that they showed you him begging them, oh, don't put it in, I'm thinking about her. Fucking grow a pair of balls. In case you can't tell, I fucking hate these two. Not as much as Lauren and Elliot. Let me know what you thought of last night's episode, and what the fuck do you think of these two stoters?